On the edge of town, a woman lived alone in the woods, a tiny place but very fit for her and her cat. Many believed her to be a nice old lady, and many believed her to be a practicing witch. The locals all called her Old Betty Booker. Skipper Perkins was a local fisherman who fished the harbor every morning and sold his catch at the local market. He has been having a great run, always catching plenty of fish and doing very well. One morning, Old Betty Booker walked into town. She wanted to go to the market for goods and fish. She approached Skipper Perkins and said to give me a bit of halibut. Skipper Perkins wasted no time with a reply and said, "Show me your sixpence, and I'll show you some fish." Old Betty Booker was offended. Did he think I could not afford it? Most fishermen feared Old Betty Booker and would always slip her extra fish to avoid her wrath. Old Betty Booker scurried back to her home. Upset with Skipper Perkins, she got to work on cooking some spells. She worked all night long. And the next morning, while Skipper Perkins was out at sea, the skies changed so very quickly. The skipper has never seen anything like it. An intense storm as he has ever seen came out of nowhere. Skipper Perkins fought back against the rough seas. He pulled his nets. They were empty. He couldn't recall a time when they were completely empty. The old witch, he thought to himself. But Old Betty Booker wasn't done with him. The skipper had been hearing rumors that Old Betty Booker was making a bridle with his name on it. The skipper was terrified. The skipper had his head on a swivel and was very careful about his business, always making sure he was in before the sunset. He would barricade himself at night. Then it finally happened. He heard the knocking. It was Old Betty Booker shouting.
Give me a bit of halibut!
She kept shouting and knocking at this door.
Give me a bit of halibut! Give me a bit of halibut!
She dragged him out, and the rumors were true. She had her bridle and made him march all night through the woods to York Harbor. Skipper Perkins woke the next morning, feeling more dead than alive. He could hear Old Betty Booker in his head saying,
Don't you go a-charging sixpence a poor old woman no more, Skipper Perkins?
For 3 weeks, Skipper Perkins stayed in bed, nursing his wounds. Once he finally did get better, he caught a ton of halibut and sent it over to Old Betty Booker free of charge.